Hey guys, welcome to the second episode here of our New Japan Cup fantasy booking series. Like I said, it's only going to be the 3 episodes. So in today's episode, we're going to get into the second round and then the quarterfinals as well. And then, of course, the final episode will be the semifinals as well as the final. And I think I'll do the match against Naito as well. Like I said, we'll probably book Dominion and we'll have that match be at Dominion. So yeah, let's get into our first, well, the left side of our second round. Let's start that now. And we kick things off with a 67 for Hiromu Takahashi. As you can see, didn't do well without a script, but that's fine. His match is up first. It also gets a 67 where we have Hiromu Takahashi defeating Toru Yano in 1958 by pinfall with a fisherman suplex. And of course, I think this was actually our technical masterclass. So it's done pretty well. 62 there for Toru Yano and a 61 for Takahashi. We then go into a 63 where we have Tomohiro Ishii defeating Togi Makabe in 1943 by pinfall with a vertical drop brainbuster. As you can see, the match had very little drama or flow to it, as nobody in the ring had the psychology to take control properly. In this mod, I find that it has very basic stats. It doesn't have a lot of individual stats for different people that are sort of fine-tuned. It's just like levels of people, probably like lower mid-carders to mid-carders, upper mid-carders, and then sort of main eventers. And the stats are almost identical to an extent, going from that way. Anyway, we then go into a 58, so this is our sort of special match on the card, where we have Bullet Club being Kenta, Tangaloa, and Tamatonga defeating Yuji Nagata and Tenkoji in 1008 when Kenta pinned Hiroshi Tenzan with a Kenta combo into Busai knee kick, which is obviously a GTS, I think. And yeah, obviously this was the Steal the Show match. It was too short for an important match in the eyes of the audience, but that doesn't really matter too much. And as you'd expect, Kenta head and shoulders above everybody else in this one. We then go into a 57 rated match where we have Taiji Ishimori defeating Yoshinobu Kanemaru in 1857 by pinfall with a bloodied cross. And unfortunately, Ishimori seemed off his game. But apparently this is like the first time Ishimori has ever beaten Kanemaru, so it'd be pretty interesting if that happened in real life. Anyway, moving on to our main event, which gets a 79. I knew this one, you'd have to think that this is actually going to be a match. And you would assume that both Okada and Suzuki will definitely win their first round matches. Anyway, we do have Kazuchika Okada defeating Minoru Suzuki in 2019 by pinfall with a Rainmaker. As you can see, Okada with a 79. Suzuki benefiting from having a groundswell of public support. And yeah, 79 is a really good match rating, I think. Finally, we've got an angle here as well, which is an 85. And as you can see, it's just Okada essentially saying that he's going to win the New Japan Cup. Alright, so we finished the show. We get a 78 there, increasing our popularity in all 46 regions, I think. So that's perfect. Don't really need to do any post-show speeches or anything like that. See, like, this mod's very interesting. It has very strange stats. And this is, I'm pretty sure it's killing the business, this real-world mod that I'm using. Anyway, so that's going to be our the first lot of our second round matches. I'm gonna book in all the right-sided matches now, and I'll join you back for that. All right, so let's get into the right side of our second round matches. we got some pretty good matches in this. We've also got LIJ taking on LIJ, and then a pretty tasty main event in Tanahashi versus Zack Sabre Jr. Alright, so we begin the show with a 62 rated angle from Shingo Takagi, and he enjoyed having the freedom to go off script and performed well. His match is up next, getting a 59, where we do have Sanada defeating Shingo in 2018 by pinfall with a rounding body press. And apparently these two don't click at all together. This was also the technical masterclass. We then go into a 77 rated match. This is a really unexpected result. But I guess the two that are in it are both really good, so it kind of does make sense. And we do have Hiroki Goto defeating Evil in 20 minutes and 8 seconds by pinfall with a GTR. Both got really, really decent in-ring performances there as well. And this might compete with the main event. A 77 probably going to be pretty hard to beat for the main event, even though it is Tanahashi. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. The next match is our sort of special match on the card, getting a 65, where we have Suzuki-gun defeating Chaos in 10-17 when Minoru Suzuki submitted Sho with a rear naked choke. And apparently Ospreay was head and shoulders above everybody else, getting an 81 in ring. That's pretty crazy. Kind of unfortunate he's not actually a part of the New Japan Cup, but you know, it is what it is. Suzuki was also off his game, which is why his rating was so low. Anyway, moving on to the next match. We get a 60 rating for this one, where we have Yoshihashi defeating Yo in 17-29 by pinfall with a Swanton Bomb. Yeah, it's an interesting in-ring performance there. He only got 50, and Yo actually beat him with a 55. Okay. I kind of actually wanted to give Yo the victory, sort of just like a little upset. But I do want to do the next match in the quarterfinals is going to be Yoshihashi taking on Goto. So I feel like in real life, it'd be a really good match. And of course, it's Chaos versus Chaos. Anyway, the next match is the main event. And it equals our other match with a 77 rating here. And we have Hiroshi Tanahashi defeating Zack Sabre Jr. in 20 minutes 5 seconds by submission with a Texas Cloverleaf. And then once again, we've got the good chemistry between Tucker and Zack Sabre Jr. So yeah, obviously Tanahashi going through, but a really good match as well. Happy with that. And then we finally get an 81 rated angle where we have Tanahashi. And of course, he's essentially talking about how he is going to win the New Japan Cup. And he's somewhat excited to potentially be versing Okada in the final. He's kind of happy there, both on opposite sides of the bracket. He also invented a new catchphrase that will likely boost his ability on the microphone, as he now has a go-to line. But he also struggled when going off script, so I don't really understand that. Anyway, this should be a pretty good show. Yeah, 76, so it's a little bit lower than the last one, but it's also, still pretty good. It's decent enough. Decent enough. Anyway, so those are our second round matches all completed. So I guess all that's left of this episode is for one more show. And of course, that will be our quarterfinal matches. So I'll get into that right now. Alright, so here we go. Let's get into the quarterfinals. Of course, we've still got 4 matches in the tournament left. And then, of course, we'll be going to the semifinals next episode, in the final episode, episode 3, which will obviously only be 2 tournament matches. So we'll probably have 3 other filler matches on the card. And then obviously at the last tour, or New Japan Cup tour night, we'll have the final. And then, of course, we'll also do Dominion as well, where I'll just book some random matches. And then, of course, we will have the winner of the New Japan Cup taking on Tetsuya Naito. Alright, so we start off with a 57 rated match where we have Hiroki Goto defeating Yoshihashi in 17:51 by pinfall with a GTR. Apparently the match was a little too short. It was still 18 minutes long. Goto only had a 48 though in-ring performance. That seems... Oh, actually, I think I know why. I think this was our technical masterclass. So he obviously isn't as good technically as Yoshihashi. But he obviously still wins the match, goes through to the semi-final. Wow. Okay, we then have an 80 rated match. Probably expect this from Okada. I thought about making it the main event, but I feel like our main event... well, I thought it would do better than this match, but it might not get an 80. Anyway, we do have Chika Okada defeating Taiji Ishimori in 20 minutes, 26 seconds by pinfall with a Rainmaker and a nice 82 in-ring there. So we have Okada going into the semi-finals on the left side of the bracket. We then have a 70 rated match, which is kind of out of nowhere, but this is our sort of special match, non-title, as LIJ are currently the 6-man champions. And we have Evil and Los Ingobernables de Japón. For some reason, Evil's not actually in the stable. I should probably just chuck him in. So LIJ defeating Taguchi Japan. Obviously, Taguchi along with Finjuice in 10:04, when Evil submitted David Finlay Jr. with a Banshee muzzle. Juice Robinson really off his game in this one. Still a 70 is pretty good. We then go into a 79 rated match where we have Hiromu Takahashi defeating Tomohiro Ishii in 20 minutes 11 seconds by pinfall with a Fisherman Suplex. And Hiromu has made his way into the semi-final, and he will actually be taking on Okada on the next episode. So that's going to be a really, really good match. And a big upset victory here as well, as he's defeated Ishii. So, yeah. Takahashi definitely putting in some work. Also, he is a junior heavyweight, so he did actually outperform Ishii with a 74 in-ring to a 69. So, happy with that. And of course, we've got the main event up next, which actually beats out the other match. I thought it might. I was a little bit worried when I saw the 80, though. So the main event getting us an 82 rating. And we have Hiroshi Tanahashi defeating Sanada in 20 minutes, 30 seconds by pinfall with a high fly flow. Good match. Really good match. Obviously, Tanahashi's rating's a little bit lower. He's in time decline, so he's not going to do as well as some of the other competitors because he does actually get penalized. And Sanada with a pretty impressive 76 there as well. I did kind of contemplate having Sanada go over Tanahashi here, but I feel like it's hopefully going to set things up nicely for the final, which is obviously what we're trying to book towards. And I feel like it'll do really well. So an 82 there, and then we go into the final angle, which gets us an 80 rating. And we have, of course, Hiromu Takahashi and Kazuchika Okada. And of course, they have a bit of a war of words as they are going to be facing each other in the semi-final on the next episode. So yeah, that's pretty good. Takahashi enjoying going off script and Okada improvising pretty well there as well. And the overall show rating getting us an 81 there. So that's relatively impressive, I would have to say. Didn't kind of expect to get an 81 on a... Well, I mean, we are putting on really, really good matches, so it does kind of make sense a little bit, I guess. Anyway, that's going to be it for the episode, guys. Please make sure you drop a like on the video, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel with the notifications turned on, if you haven't done so already. And of course, look out 2 days' time. We will have the final episode of our fantasy booking for the New Japan Cup. And like I said, we're going to have the semi-finals, the final, and then of course we're going to do Dominion as well, where the winner of the New Japan Cup will take on Naito for both the Intercontinental and Heavyweight titles. So that'll be pretty cool. Anyway, apart from that, guys, as always, take it easy and goodbye.